While application display templates give us the ability to generally provide templates for a number of different features on the platform, we also have web content templates that allow us to be more specific with web content. Now, why web content? If you're not already familiar with the concept of web content, this is one of the most widely used assets or features when it comes to our content management system. And there's so many ways in which we can use web content that it's going to make the most sense to provide specific templates for different kinds of web content on the platform. All right. So let's take a look at how this actually works with our templates. All right. Web content can have what are called web content structures. And what these structures do is they allow us to define not only what kind of information needs to be filled out, but it allows us to define what kind of content it actually is. So for example, if we needed to have specific press release web contents or specific news or different things like that, we still wanted to use web content, but they have a different purpose and they require different information. This is where a structure comes in, and your content team will be responsible for creating those structures, okay? What templates allow us to do is they allow us to take the data or the information from those structures and provide the presentation for that specific kind of web content. So that our press releases will have a consistent design, our news will have a consistent design, and obviously they need to have or they require different templates to do just that. Now, in addition to this, we have the ability to create what are called generic templates. And generic templates allow us to provide a template that is not tied to any given structure. So what this means is we have the ability to do things like embed widgets or use some of those free marker tools to set things that generically need to apply, and then we can actually include the generic templates in our specific templates that are tied to our structures. Okay, so this gives us a little bit more flexibility, similarly to what we saw with our themes with the Portal Normal, where we had some free marker files that we can keep separate, but we wanted to go ahead and include those into our Portal Normal. All right, we have that functionality even in web content as well. All right, so just like we've seen with all of our other templates so far, we can take advantage of our clay classes to really control the presentation and design of our free marker structures. And again, using clay allows us to keep that consistent design that is set forth by Lexicon. All right, so if we want to abide by the design language that Liferay has created, we could take advantage of some of those clay and bootstrap classes to do just that. So this is just a quick example of using a number of clay classes to provide a nicely designed card structure. You'll see there's the acronym .getData. That getData method is taking information from a structure. So you can take, again, the data for each of the structure fields and provide the design using free marker and some of those clay classes. In addition to this, we have the ability to embed widgets and even other content or assets into our templates as well, using some of those tag libs available to us. All right. We have an additional tag lib that we can use on these templates called the Liferay Portlet EXT runtime, and this requires a portlet name as well. So remember those tag libs that we had available to us in our theme, and you'll see that we have a lot of power with these templates, whether we're doing it for ADTs or web content templates. All right, so let's go ahead and summarize all of this content here, and then we'll go ahead and dive in and create some web content templates together. All right, so we know the web content templates are going to control the presentation of our web content structures, and those structures are created by our content team to determine different kinds of web content that we need and exactly what information needs to be included for that type of content. Right now, templates are going to reference those structure fields and provide the display. We could take advantage of some of our clay components. And again, the ultimate design or even change to the clay components is going to come in through the theme. So like we've seen in our own theme development, as we've modified some of those clay components, when we use those clay components, those modifications will of course apply to our templates as well. Okay. We can also use generic templates, which allow us to provide templates with specific designs that can be included into any other web content template that's tied to a structure. All right. So a generic web content template is not tied to any structure, whereas a sort of normal web content template is going to be tied to a specific structure. Other than that, we have the ability to use the same tag libs and preferences that we've seen elsewhere in our free marker template development. All right, so we have all of that power and we can use it in our web content templates to control the web content structure presentations. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at a simple web content template example for the Livingston Hotels and Resorts, and then we can take a look at some more advanced examples here as well and create them together. All right, so let's get started.